If you need some space in your daily driver, but you still want to optimize your higher speed fuel economy, a wagon is a fantastic option. And one of the largest and nicest wagons on the market here in the United States is the Volvo V90 Cross Country. So if you go with the lower roof height for your utility vehicle, what sort of fuel economy can you expect when you're cruising out on the highway? Tonight we find out. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from DM Moto. Today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2026 Volvo V90 Cross Country. In this test, I'm going to head out on the highway and do 50 miles out and 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour, to get a realistic fuel economy number for this luxurious full-size wagon. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Yes, one of my favorite cars on the market, the Volvo V90. Unfortunately, it's only offered now in cross-country guise, which means it's lifted up a little bit, has some plastic cladding, but at least a good amount of sidewall on the wheels. But more unfortunately is the fact that this is the last model year for the Volvo V90. Yes, not enough of you went out and bought these wagons, and therefore they are going away. And I think that is such a dang shame because it looks so good, it's so nice to drive, it packs awesome functionality, and does so much. So if you do want to see more on the Volvo V90 Cross Country, check the link below. We've got our full pros and cons review, as well as a dedicated review on the absolutely top tier Bowers & Wilkins audio system. All of that is linked below. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's fuel economy test, which gives this V90 29 miles per gallon, that test for the highway portion only averages 48 miles per hour. We know there are plenty of people who do much higher speeds than that and would like to know what sort of numbers you can realistically expect here in the real world. So in order to test that out, I'm going to head out on the highway here at night when there's less traffic. I'm going to go out, I'm going to fill up the car, go out and do 100 miles, come back, fill up at the same pump using the same 3-click fueling method, and get a result. Now, a few things to note for the test. Outside temperature is going to be down in the lower 60s or so, about 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Tire pressures have been set to their door placard, 35 psi cold. And we're going to run the climate control at 72 degrees auto. That's because the Volvo V90 only goes in increments of 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Also worth noting that we have to run premium fuel on this car. So despite whatever number we get, it's going to cost a little bit more to fill up because it requires premium. So with that, let's head to the pump. Here we are, all fueled up in the evening. Just put in about a gallon of fuel. We have our trip meter reset. We have our GPS reset. Climate set at 72 degrees Fahrenheit because this car only goes in 2-degree increments in Fahrenheit. We're ready to begin. The mild hybrid coming very pleasantly to life because it is 48 volt, as any luxury vehicle should be. Now, I don't believe we have drive modes here in the V90 Cross Country. I will check when we're at the stoplight. I think they would be somewhere. Settings? Usually Volvos don't have drive modes. I kind of appreciate that about them. Oh, here we go. Drive modes. Standard and off-road. Is that it? Yes, and then steering wheel soft or firm. That's how you do drive modes right there. Just, okay, either your normal driving or something very weird like off-roading, and then 2 different steering feels. Very simple for a car like this. So we're just going to do this test in standard with steering feel soft, and we're going to head over to the highway. It's about half a mile away, and pick up the test from there. Now, the goal of this test isn't to hypermile. We're not trying to get the best possible fuel economy for this car, but rather a realistic figure. So in order to do that, we're going to get up to highway speed here at a reasonable pace and set our cruise control to a GPS-indicated 71 miles per hour. And that should allow us to average about 70 over the whole test. And we've got the classic people in the middle lanes not wanting to do nearly as much of a speed as people in the right lanes. But eventually here we'll get up to 71. Initial highway impressions, it's nice. This thing rides nice, drives nice. We are on a concrete section of highway, but it'll be interesting to kind of evaluate over the whole test if it seems a little loud in here. I'll have to close the sunroof shade, see if that helps. speedometer is pretty darn accurate. 71 on the dash, it's giving us 71 on the GPS. I think we'll be able to settle in right there. Test out Volvo's Pilot Assist compared to what it was like in the very different EX30 that we tested not too long ago. But I think we are about ready to settle in, which is good because we are going to be doing a healthy members-only sound test here with this Bowers & Wilkins sound system. We've got plenty of requests from Daily Motor members, so if you do want to see and hear those, check the link below. But other than that, feel free to watch this time lapse of the entire trip. Coming into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the Volvo V90 Cross Country. Well, from a fuel economy standpoint, we are doing better than expected. 2 miles per gallon above the EPA at 31.3 MPG on the vehicle's trip readout. We'll see if that fares true once we record it and test it up against the fill-up back at the pump. But either way, it seems like a fairly decent result here. I mean, the car is lifted up a little bit compared to some other more kind of sedan wagon options. But, you know, it's also not an amazing figure by any means. I mean, Toyota Crown Signia did quite a bit better, but this makes more power and is overall more luxurious, so yeah, kind of a comfortable figure, I would say, and better than you'd be getting in an SUV of this caliber. Now, in terms of the general driving experience, it's been fantastic. The active lane keeping works well, adaptive cruise works well, sound system is second to none, seat comfort's good. I used the massage function that's optional on this one a little bit. That was nice. Tons of adjustability. My only complaint, I think, is that this screen is a little too bright. And then if you make this screen comfortably dim, then the front screen is too dim. So to me, they're out of balance. And I don't like how there's no more physical control for brightness adjustment. You have to do it in the screen. For a company that prides themselves on safety so much, that seems like a bit of an odd step. Our GPS went out a little bit. I've been trying to use this older iPhone, this iPhone 13 mini, as my GPS device. And I don't know if it's the app or the phone or what, but twice now that I've tried it, the 2 out of the 2 times, it just stops working partway through the GPS app speedometer. So if you're watching the time lapse, that's why there's that gap there and we don't have an average speed up. But yeah. Oh, in terms of the tack shot, sorry there, right lane hog, almost forgot it. We are looking just a hair under 2,000 RPM, cruising at 70. I'm kind of surprised with a motor like this, the mild hybrid, and the turbo and everything, we couldn't get a little bit lower in RPM, cruising at 70. I don't know if that was a conscious decision on Volvo's part or what the justification is there, but probably see even better mileage without it. But alas, we must get it back to the pump, fill it up, and then crunch the numbers with you in the daylight. Back and all fueled up here with the Volvo V90 Cross Country. We ended up putting in a total of 3.253 gallons. So traveling 100.3 miles divided by 3.253 is giving us kind of mostly in line with the vehicle's trip computer, maybe slightly lower, but 31 miles per gallon here in this luxury wagon. So a little bit better than EPA, and a figure that maybe not incredibly impressive, but when you consider for a luxury vehicle and cruising on the highway like that, that's a number I'll take. Volvo's giving you a 15.9 gallon fuel tank in here, so 15.9 gallons times that 31 MPG figure is giving you a respectable 490 miles, cruising at 70 miles per hour here in the V90 Cross Country. I'd like to see a little bit larger fuel tank, something closer to 18 gallons, really let you do some big miles when cruising on the highway, especially if maybe you lived somewhere where you could do higher speeds than 70 miles per hour. But all things considered for this type of vehicle, it's fine. Now, wagons are becoming fewer and further between here in the market of the United States. I like to say that the Toyota Crown Signia is a wagon. Most people say it's an SUV, but it's wagony enough for me. And that one is going to get you a little bit better fuel economy. But, compared to something like an Outback or obviously a crossover, not a bad figure. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the V90, check the link below. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.